through.
Most of the time you'll lose, but not necessarily every time. Not necessarily every time as Kallinger fires in a maximum to leave 55.
Hang on a minute. He's got to go 18 ball now. And he moved it. Kallinger's got a great chance to take the first leg.
To break the throw as well. Tops he wants. Oh. And tops he gets. Kallinger leads Michael van Gerwen.
That's a break of throw. All his Christmases have come at once. And he's on top of the world. Only 5 more to go, Christian. It can be done. Warren Parry beat him in the Sydney Masters a couple of years ago from a most impossible position. Kyle Anderson beat him in this tournament last year.
134.
He admittedly hit about 4 bullseyes in a row, but
yeah,
the thing is, he gave himself the chance. Michael van Gerwen missed the ball, and he took out a very good finish there.
Oh, look. 180, 55 out. Nothing wrong with that at all, but you need to follow it up. The problem is, everybody can have little flashes of inspiration. Everybody have a flash of inspiration that lasts for a leg or 2 legs or maybe even 3 legs. But unless it lasts for the entire match against Michael van Gerwen, it's unlikely to be enough.
Well, what I like so far is that Christian's playing his own pace. He's not being drawn into the slightly quicker rhythm and pace of van Gerwen. Van Gerwen can't wait to get to the hockey. But when Christian comes back, he'll just be a little bit more deliberate. Well, sometimes you just don't think that darts is a blood sport. Well, there's a stain on the 5. It's getting brutal here in Vienna. We're only 2 legs in.
What on earth has happened there?
Someone might have cut their hand on one of their darts, perhaps, or one of the wires.
59.
We had that happen in Hamburg. I think it was Alan Norris who accidentally cut his finger on one of the points on his darts, and that had to get Mark Hennigan from security to give him a plaster.
Yes,
I think about 2 legs in.
I remember him doing that, yeah. Blood on the dartboard. Well.
128.
Well, what a set-up shot that is from Michael van Gerwen. This should raise the roof.
$89. Michael requires 20.
Just in case. Double 5.
Game shot
It's
the
there.
second leg. Michael van Gerwen.
Michael van Gerwen's on the board.
Michael to throw first.
Breaks straight back. And again, we say normal service has been resumed.
140.
Well, Kallinger will have been under no illusions about what is required of him in this match. He's going to have to play the game of his life if he is going to beat Michael van Gerwen. Michael van Gerwen,
134.
his off day is still usually enough to win games, certainly in the early parts of tournaments. His off days can sometimes be enough to win finals of tournaments because Michael van Gerwen's level is higher than everybody else's, and he's shown that repeatedly.
If Kallinger was to win this game, would that be the biggest shock in world darts ever for you?
It would be the biggest shock on the European tour that I can think of since its inception.
140.
Let's just think about that for a second. Christian wins this game. He plays Vincent van der Meer tomorrow.
He does. The Meerkat. Vincent van der Meer taking out Steve West in the opening game of the afternoon session.
60. Michael requires 136.
2 treble 20s will leave double 8.
120.
A little purse of the lips from the world number 1, as if to say that was close. He will come back, though. Kallinger trying to leave 170 with use of the 18 route.
98. Michael requires 16.
Well, leaves 164. A chance if MVG misses. And he does miss.
Christian requires 164.
Well, that second dart was cruel because the deflection just blocked all of the bed. He only had about a third of it to aim at. Can't see him missing next time. Because the last thing he wants to do is fuel the fire of the crowd.
Game shot
And that's the way to keep him quiet. And that's the way to give himself a smile.
Game on.
When you played as many tournaments as Michael van Gerwen has, hitting doubles still makes you smile.
Yeah, well, he'll be feeling a little bit better about things, Michael van Gerwen, having taken an unexpected blow in the first leg from his Austrian opponent. Seen two of the seeded players win tonight, Kim Huybrechts and Simon Whitlock. Ian White dumped out by Martin Schindler, the performance of his life on a big stage from the wall.
Imagine if he'd done that in Germany.
Yeah,
the volume would have been immeasurable.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of pressure's off the likes of Martin Schindler and Rene Idams, who both played very well this weekend, because they don't have that enormous partisan support, and they feel they've got to live up to it. Maybe they just has given them a bit of freedom.
55.
Rene Idams came very, very close to knocking out Cristo Reyes, who was just typically resolute.
131.
Well, the last leg from Reyes was just pure class. When he was under pressure, he pulled out arguably the leg of the tournament so far.
Well, I'd have to say, Alan Norris, 10 darter finished on double one. Just the sheer ridiculousness is.
That's why I threw in arguably.
Well,
let's
let's have an argument about it then, Nicholson.
58.
I don't care.
I don't argue anymore.
Reformed character, Paul the Asset Nicholson. 112 left for Van Gerwen to get another breaker throw, make it 3 legs on the trot.
96. Michael Uruguay, 112.
He might have to take this out, you know. Kallinger there with a handy 96 has put himself on a 2-darter, 80 for tops, double top. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. And it's a heartbreaker for the Austrian.
Game on.
And just a little smile. He might have caught that just as the camera moved to Kallinger. Michael van Gerwen, just a little smirk to himself. He loves doing that to people. Absolutely
85.
loves it.
You know what as well? I think Michael van Gerwen probably earmarked this game here to lay down a marker for the weekend. He's done that so many times. And I don't think he's really hit his straps tonight. Even though he's 3-1 in front, he measures himself on how he plays, not the scoreboard.
Yeah, he is a player who likes to break records, likes to send messages out to people, and he will obviously, you know, I mean, he holds all kinds of records, world record average.
100.
A guy who does like to remind everybody who the top dog is.
Yeah, right now he's got more records than Tony Blackburn. But he wants more. He wants the Ken Bruce collection as well.
As Michael van Gerwen said himself, he believes he is the best player in the world. Everything backs that up in terms of the stats, but he believes that he can be the best player ever and be regarded as such. He is humble enough to admit that, you know, he may never break all of Phil Taylor's records, but the ones that he is breaking, I'm not breaking them because I'm a worse player. No, he's doing things that Phil Taylor did not achieve in his incredible career upon Phil Taylor's shoulders. This entire game is built. But oh, well, he's hit the double. Well, he wanted single 19 for a double top. He accidentally hit the double 19, so has to knock off the odd number, and this could happen. Oh, he wanted tops. What a way to go that would have been.
117. Michael Uruguay, 16. Game shot on the 5th leg.
Double 8, Van Gerwen, 4-1 up.
Second Chris in the throw first.
And a very
Game on.
steamy crowd. We see Cristo Reyes there, who we'll see tomorrow. Could it be Cristo's day tomorrow? Could he put his name on the European Tour trophy?
100.
Well, he'll be taking on Simon Whitlock for a place in the quarterfinals. Cristo Reyes, of course, will have that run
99.
last time out. Michael van Gerwen, this is very much, I mean, he's not even out of second gear. I mean, 115 darter, a couple of 16s and a 17. I mean, this isn't turbocharged MVG that
40.
we've come to expect. But I mean, he's averaging in the mid-90s at the minute. It's just Michael van Gerwen doing a job here.
60.
Do you think Michael van Gerwen will beat Phil Taylor's record for total Pro Tour wins? He's over 50 already, so he's well on the way.
Yeah.
13.
There are a lot of questions that need to be answered over the course of this next year. Michael van Gerwen's year last year, where he won 26 titles, was incredible. Obviously, he's got the baby on the way, but with some players, we found that's actually made them even better, if you can imagine such a thing.
26.
Let's just think about that for about 2 or 3 seconds. That could actually be a darting twilight zone if he gets better.
180 for Michael van Gerwen, just piling into it, leaves him 29, but he does not really care because Michael van Gerwen is absolutely cruising, and Christian Kallinger, having won the first leg and looked fired up, he's got increasingly frustrated. Well, this is careless, isn't it? This is a Michael van Gerwen who knows he has this match in the bag, and he's not really that focused. But this is a man who is not really that focused and is still averaging 97. Now, we saw Martin Schindler earlier on average almost 99. We saw Mervyn King average 99 earlier on. Cristo Reyes average 97. And we've spent all day talking about how well they've played. But Michael van Gerwen is doing this while sleepwalking to victory, it appears. Christian Kallinger getting very annoyed with somebody in the crowd who you assume is cheering for him, but...
Well, Christian's not the kind of guy you want to argue with.
No, I mean, he looks like, you know, hired goon number 3 in a Russian mafia film.
Michael van Gerwen's been wearing green for quite some time. How do you feel about the possible change of strip?
I think that's iconic, isn't it? The MVG shirt.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of a design change.
Wow. Yeah. I would imagine it won't be too long before they have to get a new one just to stick an extra star on the back of it.
55.
2 on there for the world titles that he's won.
I tell you what, if they put a star in there for the amount of titles he's won in the PDC...
Oh, it'd be like a cosmos, wouldn't it?
It
like
will.
Milky Way.
131.
1-3-1 for MVG, leaves him 1-2-4 for the match. And having gone 1-0 down to Christian Kallinger, it could well be. It's not beyond the realms that is the only time that Michael van Gerwen trails over the course of this entire weekend. Because we've seen it happen before. And double 2.
122.
So he'll have to win it on the madhouse if he's going to win it in this leg.
Well, he does like to finish matches with a bit of a boom. He beat John Henderson a couple of weeks ago.
50. Michael, you require 2.
Absolutely fantastic finish. But why not double 1? Why not indeed? The man